You're listening to In Sumter with Sarah Jane, a show about celebrating Sumter, a part of the Item Podcast Network, presented by SKF.
Can we talk about his podcast?
We can talk about it. It's in the works.
It's in the works, okay.
Yeah, we can talk about it. What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about everything you. But first, let me introduce us.
Okay, that
Okay,
one.
cool. I'm Sarah Jane, and we're in Sumter with Abram Ludd, and now we're going to figure out what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so you're
Okay.
here with me.
And you're here with me.
Yeah.
So you work all the time. Like, I never talk to you that you're not working.
Yes, so that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it has its good days and its bad days.
What are the bad days like?
The bad days are like, man, I need to go home and drink some Modelo. I need to drink this on a regular basis.
Yeah,
I'm starting to drink it on a nightly basis now. So, yeah.
Well, sometimes you need it, especially during the summer. It gets super busy.
Yes.
Summertime.
Yes. You know what? Over the last couple of weeks, man, it's been insane. It's been super crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure you've been busy, with real estate over the last couple of weeks, and so have I. It's just been, man. I think once the pandemic started, it kind of, gave everyone pause for like a few weeks, and then, after that, like the floodgates opened up. So.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody today. They were like, "Are people buying houses right now?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yes.
Like are you sure you're ready to move? Because if you're not ready to move,
yeah,
like chill.
Yeah.
So, so you sell real estate.
I do.
How long have you been selling real estate?
So I started selling real estate back in 2014.
Cool.
So I kind of got into business based off of actually me going through the home buying process myself. Shout out to one of my favorite realtors, Miss Sherry Williams. Sherry was my realtor back then, and she guided me through the process. And like while we were going through the process, I kind of looked at it and I was like, Sherry, you know what? I think I can see myself doing this. And she was like, go for it, Abe. You know how Sherry is.
Yeah, she is.
She's like, go for it, go get it done. And so I was like, okay. So this was back in like 2013, and then so I waited like a year, after I got settled in the new house, and after we got settled in the new house, and I decided to take the class, and I got my license, and I ended up over at Russell and Jeffcoat. Do you remember old Russell and Jeffcoat? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Over at Russell and Jeffcoat, and I was there, and trying to just get my feet up under me, get my wings out, and
Man, that means you had the hustling shift happen. So you went from. So tell me about that story. You tell it, because I don't know all the details.
Which one?
So were you there when they were bought, or they went out of it?
So it was kind of crazy because I just got into the business back in like I said 2014, and I think like just when I was starting to get really comfortable with the process in like 2015, towards the middle of 2016, the last founding member of the company, he died in a plane crash. Do you recall that?
No.
Yes. So I think it was Mr. Russell that passed away in the plane crash. And I think it was like Memorial Day weekend or something like that in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And so after that, the company still was afloat for like another 6 months or so, and then like all of a sudden, like in like the beginning, I think of 2017, we got bought out by the company got sold to Coldwell Banker. So we became Coldwell Banker, and a lot of things changed. Mainly with the whole admin side of things, but at the same time, my business was starting to take off. So it was it was a little of a transition, but it wasn't too bad. And so that was good. Everything was good up until next thing you know, like I think the beginning of 2018. So it was like almost about a year and a half. 2018, we got bought out again. So this time we went to ERA, Wilder Realty.
Well, and that was so when Coldwell Banker bought Russell and Jeffcoat, that was a brand buying another brand, right?
Basically, yep.
And then when you were at Coldwell Banker, that was a franchise buying another franchise, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So ERA Wilder here bought Coldwell Banker,
yep.
Whatever that real estate.
And I think we were all
not to be confused with the Cornerstone, because that's commercial. It's completely different.
It's completely different. So basically, what it was is I think we were all under NRT. which is a company within that kind of runs the ERAs and the Coldwell Banker and stuff like that. So we were all under that same umbrella. So I guess it was an easy sale for them. So we kind of came in one day, and next thing you know, we were over at ERA.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because you never think about something like that happening with real estate, because we all work for ourselves.
Correct.
We're all 1099
Correct.
contractors, and I think that's a big misnomer, I guess is the right word. It's like people don't know that.
Yeah.
Like, even though your license is held by somebody, they almost have no effect on how you run your business, which is another crazy thing.
Correct. It's almost like you really have to brand yourself, right?
Yeah, you have to build that
That's
brand.
what Sarah Jane does, right?
Hey.
Yeah. So you're right. You're absolutely right. Yep.
Okay, so when you decided to get into real estate, like, what about it was attractive to you?
I think the biggest thing was just the opportunity, to help people. I think that was the biggest thing, to be able to help, my family, my friends, my peers, and just people in the community. There's a lot of people that want to become homeowners who aren't, who don't have homes that they own right now, and they're renting and stuff like that. So they I felt like they needed someone to kind of like help guide them throughout the process, and just share information with them, and somebody they can relate to. Just be down to earth and be myself and help.
Yeah, I really like that. So, what pushed you into homeownership?
Man, you know what? So I was going to rent. I was about to move up out of the house, leave the nest, and I was going to rent. And then a buddy of mine was like, man, what you doing? What are you going to rent for, man? You got good credit. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you go buy a house? I'm like, man, I don't know. At the time, I was like, man, I don't have enough money to buy a house. In my mind, I'm thinking, man, I need about, $10,000, $15,000 to buy a house. I was like, man, I don't have that type of money. And he's like, man, go talk to Sherry, man. Isn't that your friend? Go talk to her. She can help you get started. So I was like, okay. So I reached out to Sherry, and I talked to my bank, and it was like, yeah, we can get you pre-qualified for this XYZ, and that's how it got going. Like I actually went around before, starting the home buying process, and I actually went and looked at a few apartments and houses that were for rent, and I was like, man, I don't know if I really want to rent. And then when I got the opportunity to buy, it was a no-brainer.
So where were you working before I want to ask that question, where do you start when you help people buy a house? Like, when do you start that conversation? Like, when they're ready to buy? So,
I have a lot of people that, reach out to me who, are just interested about the process, that they don't really even know where to start or when to start. So, it's just usually in general conversations, like someone might hit me up and say, hey, I'm thinking about buying a house, but I don't know what I need to do to get started. So I'm like, okay, well, hey, give me a call, send me a text message. Here's my contact information. Yeah. The first thing we need to know is we need to find out what your credit score is, Yeah. So we need to find out what your credit is like. That might be that's the biggest thing. And if you're not paying cash, but usually the people that are paying cash, they know what they want. They know, hey, I got cash, I'm going to buy it. But if they're going to not rent, but if they're going to get a mortgage loan, then, it's going to be a situation where, hey, where do I start? Who do I need to talk to? Like, hey, do I need to talk to my bank? Do I need to talk to XYZ? Like, where do I go? And that's usually where I kind of, meet them, halfway, or meet them somewhere and say, hey, this is where you go. Let me guide you along this path.
And from when they say, hey, Abram, like, I want to buy something, or I think I could maybe buy something, how long does it take usually from, like, that conversation to congratulations, here are the keys?
Well, it really depends on how many houses they want to see.
Yeah.
We have some people that might want to only, they know what they want, and they might, that first house might be the house.
Right.
And then you have some people that, after house 20, showing number 20, they might not want to,
really
they still haven't decided. So, but once we get a house under contract, the process only takes about 30 to 45 days, start to finish. Once you move in, you got your keys to your new house.
You're like, bam, there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
It's such a rewarding process to help people do this homeownership thing.
It is.
I'm working with, because you meet people along their journey of what they've been working for.
Correct.
Even if you don't know them forever, like working with somebody right now, and they finally got their dream lake house.
Yes.
And this is just like the most exciting thing, and you're just so proud and excited. Like, you haven't struggled with him every day of like, no, we can't do this, we have to do this, we have to like keep our money straight, blah blah blah. And then they're finally here, and you're like, yes.
Yeah. So back to what you just said, Dream Lake House. That must be nice. Right? Dream Lake House.
Dream, like, you gotta have a dream.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, even if
I
it's
haven't
like
sold
your
a house
dream.
on the lake yet, so it must be nice.
What? Hey,
Must be nice.
See, every time I talk to you, do that. It's like, must be nice to be Abram.
Must be nice. It must be nice.
Anyway, so you have another job too.
Yes.
What else do you do?
So I am an inventory auditor, or inventory analyst for a furniture corporation. So I travel around and do, make sure they have their stuff together. So if I'm not selling real estate, then that's usually what I'm doing. So one or the other.
You travel a lot for that.
I do. So I'm sometimes I'm in North Carolina, sometimes I'm in Tennessee. I might be here in South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Virginia. But lately I've been working pretty local. Especially with the pandemic and stuff going on. So I've been pretty stationary, which is great.
I mean, it's hard to get a hold of you. I mean, I've had a couple of political figures here. They were pretty easy to schedule.
Man, listen, first of all, I mean, who are these people? That's what I need to know. First of all, I know Thomas McElveen was here.
And Councilman Hasty.
Okay, I don't know Councilman Hasty, but I do know Thomas McElveen. And I will say I am a better basketball player by far than Thomas McElveen. I hope he sees this video. Can I look in the camera?
Yeah.
Thomas, I'm a better basketball player than you, and you know that. But yeah. So
Where what do you have? Like, how do you determine these things? Can we have like a shootout, or does it have to be like a one-on-one situation?
It had to be a one-on-one game.
Game.
I think he's retired now.
He's retired.
He's retired.
He's got
he
that
put him
knee.
into retirement.
It's,
He uses that as his excuse, but yeah, he knows those battles we had. So
speaking of basketball, where'd you play?
I played at Sumter High. I graduated in 2002. And then my freshman year, I went up to North Greenville University and played basketball there, North Greenville. And then, so I had a pretty good freshman year there, and I got kind of homesick. And I was like, you know what?
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, I want to come closer to home. I'm not really feeling this vibe at North Greenville. So I ended up transferring to Coker College over in Hartsville.
Yeah.
So I sat out a year there because, I transferred. When you transfer as an athlete, sometimes all of your courses don't transfer because your credits, they don't, one school, they have a certain criteria, and the other school may not accept that criteria as far as the credits and hours. So I had to sit out a year. So I basically redshirted, and then I played my last 3 years over in Hartsville. So yeah, so Coker was a great experience. I got to meet a lot of great people, and I built a lot of friendships. I still have some friendships from North Greenville, but most of my friends from college, they went to Coker with me, and we still keep in touch. One of my old teammates, he calls me about like every other day. He's over in Atlanta, but he calls me every day, just checking on me. Yeah, so but it was a great experience. Playing over there. We played. The conference we played in was so tough. So my senior year, the number one team in our conference won the national championship in basketball, and Division II men's basketball. So we played against great competition. It was a great experience. My coach was hilarious. He's still hilarious to this day. But I got a chance to meet a lot of nice people over there.
Cool. I don't know anything about college basketball. Surprise.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So, but I know it's cool that you played.
Yeah,
And I know a lot of people know you from that. They're like, yeah, he played.
Who are these people? That's what I want to know.
Patrick Enzer, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's how Hugh knew you, and Thomas.
T-Mac. Okay.
T-Mac. Did T-Mac play with you, or you just how did you fall into playing basketball with Thomas?
Well, that got kind of set up by his wife Bronwyn.
She does that.
Yeah. So Bronwyn kind of hooked that one up. So Bronwyn was like, hey, they're playing out there. I'm like, okay, cool. So I went out there and played with them. So I'm gonna give you the rundown. It was Thomas McElveen was out there. Do you know Susan Weston?
Yes.
Her husband, Gene Weston, he was out there. So imagine Gene running around. Gene's actually in pretty good shape. And it was TJ Green. Do you know TJ Green? Real estate? Realtor? Yeah. TJ was out. He's out there. And there was a few other people out there. But, like I said, man, Thomas, he just wanted to shoot the J. He just wanted to shoot the jumper. He was a lefty. Spot him up in the corner. He'll shoot the 3 ball. He thought he was Steph Curry for some reason. He came in with his little Under Armour shoes on. He thought he was Steph Curry. So
Can he play like a little bit though?
He can play. He can play.
Okay,
He can play.
okay.
That's my guy. So.
Was this your one chance to say that you're better, or was he actually better?
I figured he would know that. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But he's my guy. But that's my boy. But I'm trying to think who else did I play with out there. I think that's it. Yeah.
Gosh, that's so much fun.
Yeah. So we had some good battles and stuff.
What is that? The Y?
No, it was at a location that I cannot.
It was a non-disclosed location. This was a private game.
It was private, yeah. If I start saying it, then I could get there could be some repercussions behind that. So
the underground basketball world of Sumter.
Yeah,
okay, hyper.
Yeah.
I don't have security clearance for this, so I'm gonna get it out of you later.
I
promise
I'm
not to
sip this
tweet it.
Modelo and keep it moving. So, yeah.
So, okay, so you play basketball in college, and you're married, aren't you?
I am. Shout out to my wife. I know if I would say,
honey.
hey, D. If I don't say that, D. But, my wife, she was a legend. She is a legend in basketball.
Yeah?
She played at Lee Central over in Bishopville. So she won, D won 4 state championships.
Dang.
In high school. So, and, she... I think she was a McDonald's All-American nominee, and she went on to play at the University of South Carolina.
Nice.
So she played 4 years there, and then she played 3 or 4 years over in Europe. So her basketball resume is a lot better than mine.
She is a legend.
Yeah,
that is super cool.
A legend. So.
And she coaches at Lakewood now, right?
She's not coaching. She resigned last year, so she's not coaching.
Sorry,
She didn't, because she's finishing up her master's program. But she did coach at Lakewood for 4 years, and she coached I think the JV girls basketball team at Lee Central for a year before that. But she was the head girls coach at Lakewood for 4 years, so got to meet a lot of people over there at Lakewood. So shout out to Lakewood. They're good people.
Lakewood Gators. Yeah, they're the Gators, right?
Yeah. You didn't go to Lakewood, did you? You went to.
My sister went to Lakewood. I went to Sumter Christian.
Okay. I got it. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense.
You know what? We have to have an after talk about this.
So, shout out to Patrick too. Patrick Enzo. Patrick did an article on me back when I was in college, so that's how I met Patrick before we got into this whole real estate stuff, and before I ended up at Uptown Realty, where I'm at now. So,
before I let you plug Uptown Realty, I would like to just in parentheses say that I didn't actually graduate from Sumter Christian.
Okay.
I technically graduated from the Homeschool Association, which is not much better, but
so you were homeschooled.
Yeah, for the last 6 months.
That makes sense.
You know what? Don't even make sense with me. That's not even.
It all makes sense.
I feel like I've been painted into a corner now. You know what? We're just going to talk about Uptown Realty now.
You want to talk about Uptown? Let's talk about
Uptown.
Uptown, baby.
Sip and let it move. So, Patrick and I started in the Cubes together at ERA, and I swore. It's not even that I can say I think he hated me. I know that he hated me when we were in the cubicles next to each other.
And why is that?
I'm annoying.
They call it the
sometimes.
bullpen, right? Isn't that what Stan called it? The bullpen, right?
Well, it's also the Nova Center.
Okay.
I call it the Cubes.
Okay.
Because that's what it is.
Okay, gotcha.
The posted up next to the copier. I like to talk a lot. Patrick likes to. He's the silent force working at the keyboard. Yeah. It was. And I'm a chatty cat. I specifically chose to sit next to the copy machine so I could interact socially with everybody selling real estate. So, you gotta meet the people.
Yes,
it's all about the network.
Yes, indeed.
So, and then Patrick left and did Uptown Realty.
Yes, him and Russell. Barry.
Yeah. That was in 18.
Was it 18?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
It was
2018. Yeah,
it was a few months before.
Yep. That's right.
When did you go?
Back in December of last year.
Okay.
So, I had this big decision to make. It kind of felt like LeBron when he was making his decision to leave Cleveland.
Stop.
To go to
Stop.
Miami.
That's not even
the first
wasn't
time.
even that serious.
Man, I was nervous. I thought I needed to get the Boys and Girls Club to come out there to announce this decision that I was making. But yeah, so I ended up.
You have like a set of hats, like you just.
I didn't have a set of hats, but it was kind of hard to make those phone calls to tell people I wasn't coming.
Yeah.
But so I ended up making a switch to Uptown Realty back in December.
So why'd you pick Uptown?
Man, you know how. What's that movie where the guy said, he made me a deal I couldn't refuse?
Oh, okay.
No, it was something like that. I don't know.
So
but no,
keep it kosher?
No, honestly, I don't know. I just, I was thinking about it, man. I was going back and forth in my head on where I wanted to be, and it was. I was like, man, go ahead and give Uptown a shot. Give Patrick a shot. So, and it was, smooth sailing so far.
Yeah, I like Patrick a lot. I think he's pretty straight up about what he does.
Yeah, he's pretty cool, man. If anytime I have a question, he's right there, to answer it, and he's always available. So, I can't complain.
There you go.
Yeah, so.
I like to mess with Patrick about what he's got going on, like tech wise. He likes to be.
Really?
He likes
I didn't know that.
He's very particular about what he's got going on.
Really?
Like website wise.
He's secretive.
Yeah, like when I'm asking these questions, so because like. I had to provide that for other people.
Correct.
And it's just this whole process of, what website are we going to use? How's the back end going to look? Like all this.
I need to pick his brain on that. Man.
You should check out. Yeah. Anyway, he likes to mess with it a lot more than I'm willing to mess with it.
Somebody told me you were interested in coming over to Uptown. I don't know how true that is.
I cannot believe you just did that on this. I called Patrick after I made my move to KW.
Okay.
So yeah, and I was like, hey, I just feel like because we were in the Cubes together, we kind of left at the same time. I just want to let you know, like, this is what happened. Because Patrick and I, like, when he left ERA, like that afternoon, we went and had a drink and like chatted.
Okay.
And so I felt like,
drink. Let me stop.
I don't even know if he was drinking. I know I was drinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just felt like that camaraderie within the real estate network. Like, I need to call Patrick, let him know what happened.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Well, you also reached out to me, so I feel like I'm special. Because you did hit me up. I was
absolutely.
like, oh, okay.
Hey, you shot me down. Bring up my rejection on air.
What are you talking about?
You
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Me.
Where was this?
You picked Uptown over me. I just don't. That's okay. I'm all right with that.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I don't know. Your face is
well, I
red.
left too. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're doing great over there. So.
Okay.
And then KW Palmetto, they're in Cola. You're always welcome to come. You, Patrick, everybody.
I don't know, man. Patrick's rolling over there. Uptown,
I know. Man. Patrick's doing good. I just had to mess with him for a minute.
Oh, really?
So no one that sells real estate is going to know what we're talking about. I'm so sorry. No. I'm so sorry, non-real estate
talking
agents.
in real estate lingo now.
I know. I'm so sorry. Let's talk more in real estate lingo.
Okay.
Okay. So when you got your real estate license and you were like ready to roll, what did you do? Like, were you just calling all your friends and family? Like, what was happening?
Man, so what I did was, man, I didn't really tell anybody I took the class. I was taking the class. So when I got my license, I was like, okay, boom, I got my license. So I was like, well, now I need to get some business. I need to let some people know that I'm going to be selling real estate. So, I just started hitting a lot of people up, via text messages and Facebook. And, at first people they just kind of brushed it off. They brushed me off. And then I think, people started really taking notice more so whenever I started actually selling some properties. So, I think people kind of take notice when they see you selling stuff. They're like, okay, he might be up to something.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's like, is this going to work, or are you just going to do this for a little bit? Because you don't realize how many people get into real estate until after you're in real estate. And then the first, 20 people you come in contact, they're like, yeah, I had my real estate license
Correct.
in the 70s, in the 80s. Everybody had their real estate license in the 80s.
Correct.
It's like,
Yeah.
So, but then you practice on those people.
Yeah.
You start.
Yeah.
So, it's fun. Okay, so what has real estate done for you? Like what?
Man, real estate has really opened the doors for me to meet and network with people I would have never been able to network with, and help form relationships with people that I would have, like I said, put me in different circles that I wouldn't have been in if it wasn't for real estate. I get the chance to come out and network with people. I've been trying to stay away from doing that because of COVID-19 lately, but it's just the opportunity to meet a lot of different people from different walks of life, all over the world, all over the country. I just got a phone call today from a guy from Pennsylvania, and so it's just like, it's pretty cool, like, and once you actually start the process and work with these people and get to know them, like you said earlier, you feel like you're part of their family, so and that's the biggest thing. I love the fact whenever I can call one of my former clients and check in on them, and they're like, man, I'm still loving the house, and man, thank you so much for helping us. That's probably like the best feeling you can get, where that satisfaction of seeing your clients happy and be like, okay, I might have done something here, I did something here to help my community.
I love that. That's a good feeling. So is real estate what you thought it would be?
Yes. Even the drama and the stuff that comes, the negative stuff that a lot of people don't really see that comes along with it. Yeah, but
like, if we can't, like, I bet we can, make this blase kind of a thing. But like, what are some of the negative things to point out? I think people have a lot of questions about real estate, and so being able to like point some of those things out, it prepares everybody.
I think the biggest thing, a lot of the negative stuff per se, is not necessarily from the clients.
Okay.
A lot of the negative stuff mainly comes from the other end of the transaction.
Well, so I got into real estate because I like owning my own business. Yeah. I like running my own thing and I can control who I work with. And when you sell real estate, I thought you could. You do not control who you work with.
No.
At all.
No.
You don't. And so it grew me up quick and in a hurry. You have to work with everybody.
Yeah.
And you have to be good at it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And so the biggest thing is you have to be organized.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Yeah, you have to be really organized, and I think that's where some realtors fall short at, like being organized and being on top of your stuff. Because especially if you're really starting to roll in some business and you're dealing with multiple people, you need to kind of know where everything's at and stay on top of your stuff. If not, then you're gonna be looking silly, to the other realtor in the transaction, to your client, to whoever the other client is, to the lender, to the closing attorney. So you gotta pretty much be on top of your game.
Yeah, you're like you're the transaction. What's the people that are in the plane that walk up and down the aisle, make sure everybody's chill? You're like, that's not even a good one. I don't know. It's just like you're like the real estate guide. You bring everybody. You coordinate the whole. You're like the real estate tour guide. Yeah, that's how I explain it to some people who are like new at it. Like, you got to bring all these people together. And if you're not organized, it's not happening. So, can I ask you, what are you on track for this year?
As far as real estate wise?
Yeah, like just number of transactions.
So my number of transactions, number one is I want to be, my transactions to be higher than yours.
Okay.
I'm coming for that, Sarah Jane.
Okay.
I'm coming for the top.
All right, you rolling about 5 a month now?
Well, see, you just threw a jab at me. That was a jab.
Yeah, you've been jabbing all day.
That was sneak this. But anyway, I'm coming. But now, I kind of have a number in my head. I don't really want to disclose it.
That's okay. Let's just say, like, I know you do more than this, but you do 2, like, even if you only do 2 a month. Like,
so that's 24 properties for the year.
That's 24 a year, and so you're not going to do 2 a month. You're going to do 1, and then you'll have a month where you have 6, and then you have, like, so it rolls like that. And then, so let's say you're working with 3 or 4 properties. You have the buyer, the seller, you, the other agent, the attorney, the lender, the paralegals helping the attorney, the underwriters helping the lender.
Correct.
And then
you forgot about the home inspector.
The home inspector and all the handy people. So you've got all these people you have to and if you're not organized and you don't stay on those deadlines, for all those people times 6, and you're working on deadlines and crunch time, and not to mention, it's one of the most stressful things that a person can go through is buying a house. Exactly.
And then, you don't want to be the reason that the transaction doesn't close on time.
Boom.
Yeah,
you can't
because if that's the case, then, you're going to have your client's going to be mad at you. The other client in the transaction is going to be mad at you. The other agent's going to be mad at you. The lender's going to be mad at you. So, you just got to, like I said, stay on top of your stuff.
Well, that's one of the reasons I wanted you to come on is because
I thought you wanted me to come on just so I can, show you this polo I got on.
The polo is looking fresh.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you're always so professional.
Yeah.
I mean, at any deal that we've worked, even if it didn't work out, which is rare that deals don't work out.
They happen.
But it does happen.
Yeah.
So, you've always been so super professional.
Thank you. I was just thinking about it earlier today. I was like, dang, I was thinking about the first deal we did together. Curtis Wood Drive.
Oh, man. Is that the one on the inside of the corner?
Yep.
Oh,
I
yes.
had the listing. You had the buyer, and I think you were at ERA, and I still was at Coldwell Banker.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, man, you should come over to ERA. And I'm like, nah. Little did I know, I didn't have a choice. So
Yeah, it wasn't long after you came to ERA.
Yeah.
I was so pumped. Because when you work in the same office, you really don't see the other agents that much.
Right.
If you work a deal with them, you talk to them every day. It feels like.
Yeah, and via text message, phone calls, so yeah.
Yeah, just keeping up, making sure you're
yeah.
on top of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Becky, that was that lady's name. And oh man, that was a good one.
It was a good transaction. That
wasn't actually that long ago. I can't believe that was.
It doesn't seem like it was, but that was at least 2 years ago. Probably about 2 years ago.
There you go.
About 2 years ago.
Actually, that was her mom. Anyways,
right across the street.
Yeah, that was because I was like, no, there was no listing agent on that first one, but that second one, couldn't keep my house straight.
I mean, that's what happens when you sell about 200 houses a year. It's hard to keep track
I didn't
of.
know.
So I know.
Stop.
I know Sarah Jane.
Is that you sell 200 a year? Is that what you're telling me?
No,
okay.
I'm talking about you.
No, absolutely not. I'm rolling down on 200 to date, so it's pretty cool. Real estate, basketball. What'd you go to school for?
I got my degree in business administration.
Carte blanche for anything you want to do.
Yeah, pretty much. So
I have studied the different. It goes back to real estate. It fits with real estate really well.
It does. I was telling one of my friends before. I was like, one of my old teammates. I was like, man, I know I can't curse on the podcast.
You need to knock yourself out.
Okay, I was like, damn, man, I should have paid attention more in class. Back when we were in college. So I probably will be 2 or 3 steps ahead of where I'm at right now, in the business field. But it is what it is. So, but I did learn a lot, and like I said, my business professors over at Coker, they were great. So,
it's actually what I have a degree in.
Business administration.
Yeah, business and organizational leadership.
Nice.
But it's all the hats, because when you sell real estate, you're running your own business. So
Correct.
You're marketing, you're accounting, you're all the things. Plus, you need to know how to sell real estate.
Correct. So accounting was not my strong suit. That was not my strong suit in college. Accounting, finance. I struggled mightily. I don't know how I passed those courses, but I passed them.
Okay.
And yeah.
Also, another misnomer: you don't have to be good at math to sell real estate.
No, you don't.
You have to be good. What would you think? What do you think you have to be good at to be good at real estate?
I think you have to be good at. You have to be good at working with people, dealing with people. You have to have really good people skills. And if you don't, you got to be a really good negotiator. So you have to be a really good negotiator, and you got to be able to get stuff done. But I think the biggest thing is people skills.
Well, I think even when you are like a really good negotiator can like make things happen. If you're dragging your client kicking and screaming because you know what's best, that's not good either. Like, you have to like they have to trust you, and all this, because they can't go to real estate school for one transaction.
Correct.
But as long as you tell them everything they need to know to feel in control so that they can make good decisions, we're all going to have a good day.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So, okay, so real estate, business degree, basketball, and then I heard you like shoes. Is that right? Is that a thing?
I don't know who told you that.
I think they're called sneakerheads. Is that the real terminology?
I'm not a sneakerhead.
No,
I don't want to disrespect the true sneakerheads out there.
Okay.
But I do have sneakers, but I'm not a sneakerhead.
I wore my only sneakers today.
Oh, really? Okay.
I know they're vintage. They're called Lazy Bones, and
Never heard
they're
of
golf
them.
shoes.
Never heard of them.
I got them at an estate sale in the mountains.
I'm gonna need you to get a pair of Vapor Max. Nike Vapor Max. You gotta step your game up. Get you a pair of Nike Vapor Max.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah.
Are they high tops?
No, they're low top. They're low.
Okay.
They got a little air bubble at the bottom. Yeah, you need to get you a pair of Nike Vapor Max. You don't wear those back outside. Don't wear those anymore.
They're so cute.
Don't wear those anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, get you a pair of Nike Vapor Max. But who told you I was a sneakerhead? Where'd you hear that at?
I think you and I talked about it.
I don't think I ever told you. Nah.
You may not have used the word, but you said, I think you like, what's your podcast about?
So our podcast, which is hopefully coming soon, I can't really talk about it. Shout out to my brother, my bro that's going to be on the podcast with me. I can't even disclose the name yet because I don't want anybody to steal it.
Okay.
But we've
Not
got a
disclosed.
podcast. Hopefully we're going to get it cranking up by the end of this year.
Well, what's it about?
So basically, we're gonna talk about. I really don't even want to tell you that, but we're gonna talk about just everything, everyday life. You know, we're gonna talk about what's going on in society. We're gonna talk about sports. We're gonna talk about hip hop culture. We're gonna talk about music. We're gonna talk about fashion, and hopefully, we'll be able to get some key guests to come hang out with us on the podcast, kind of like your podcast.
Cool.
You know, have somebody come, chime in for a few minutes and interview them.
So does it have to be somebody from Sumter, or can just be anybody? You just want it to be like.
We're gonna start off with people from Sumter.
I like it.
Yeah, so we're gonna start off with people from Sumter. We got a little concept we're working on, and
I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, you want to come be on the podcast?
Heck yeah!
You can talk about those shoes you got.
I'm gonna wear these shoes to that podcast.
Wear those shoes.
I'm gonna wear
them, so we're gonna be like, man, what are those?
It'll be like my lazy bones.
Yeah, I like. They're not bad. They're not bad. I was, I just think you. I figure, you probably be, at your status, I was thinking, Vapor Max.
I don't know who you like.
Balenciaga.
If I spend money on shoes, they will have red bottoms.
Oh, okay.
I have not yet.
You got a pair of red bottoms?
I do not have a pair of red bottoms.
Oh, really?
I'm just saying, if I go out to spend crazy money on shoes,
I thought you might have had a pair of red bottoms.
It will be red bottoms. I know. It was my goal in 2019, and I missed my goal by a little bit. Therefore, I get no red bottoms.
Ah, got you. So,
yeah.
Are you on pace to get that this year?
No.
Okay. Okay. What's your goal for this year?
My goal for this year is, I wish I had the transaction number instead of the volume, but 8 million. So, you're at 8 too, right?
No.
Come on, you can do it, dude.
No,
you can do that.
About 5.
You got that too. So what is 5? So
5-6 mil.
I want to see. You're gonna have to bear with me while I put this into my calculator.
Okay.
It's 32 houses.
That's not bad. Well, I mean,
that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's 3 a month. You got this.
Okay.
That means you already need to do 18 this year.
What's this? Yeah.
We're in June.
We're in June.
So really 21 by right now.
Okay.
You on track?
Not quite.
Oh, but you're close, aren't you?
Not there. Not yet.
It's so close there.
I gotta ask Patrick.
Yes, Patrick's keeper of the numbers. Load it up.
Fudge those numbers a little bit, Patrick. Fudge them.
Push me an extra one in there. So, well, I did a 155, just the average price of a house here. So if your average is higher, you could have less. You need less.
Yeah, my average is not that high.
That's okay.
That's you. But see, here's the thing, man. You got Sarah Jane up here, and you got everybody else down there.
Stop saying that. I'm like not even up there.
Listen. So yeah, whenever a realtor goes by the name Sarah Jane, they have 2 first names. You already know they're legit.
Listen, that's just Southern. That's not fancy.
That's just. I'm just saying. Let me drink my beer.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to go? What's your middle name?
I will not disclose that on air. I will just say, my friends, my family, they call me CT. CT, and that's it. I'm gonna just leave it at that. So I have 2 middle names, but
all right.
So
that's if you're ragging on me for the double name, and you're the double name.
They don't call me, Abram, whatever. Whenever someone says Sarah, they say Sarah Jane. They do
and there's like no one knows my last name.
Nobody. It's Sarah Jane. Like your last name is Sarah Jane. Yeah. Oh, that's Sarah Jane. Just like that's Sarah Jane. So,
oh gosh, you crack me up.
Yeah. So
well, thank you so much for coming.
Man, thank you for having me. I feel special now. I got to be on the podcast. I wish I would have been able to come on Tuesday because it would have been Taco Tuesday and I could have got some tacos.
That's right. I promised tacos. That's okay.
Maybe next time if I ever get invited back, that'll be great.
Yeah. You can have me on your podcast on Tuesday, and you can buy me tacos.
We can do that. I don't know what you want. We'll talk about real estate on there. We'll talk about your fashion because you got a little bit of swag to you, so you like to dress. You do your thing, but it is what it is.
Stop. Okay, so you want to talk about anything else? You got anything else you love?
Man, I don't know. It's a whole bunch. Any other questions you have? It's 4:22.
Okay. If you could be pro in any sport, what would it be?
Ooh, goodness. Ooh, if I could be pro in any sport, it would have to be either the NBA or NFL. Those two. But I know I said two.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So probably in NBA,
You could go for longer.
you can go longer and you can make more money. NFL,
Really?
that shelf life is not, depending on what position
I had
you
no
play.
idea.
Yeah. So you can make more money in the NBA and in Major League Baseball.
I think basketball's in Major League Baseball.
Baseball, yeah.
Baseball. I like
They make
watching
a lot of
basketball
money.
more than football.
Really?
actually.
You watch basketball?
No, I just prefer it over football.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't think
Key
you watch any
distinction.
sports.
No, not unless I'm interested in somebody and that's what they do, and then I'm like, yeah, I love it.
Okay, gotcha. So what do you watch? What do you watch?
So if I watch television, I'm probably binging some show. Like right now, I'm watching Animal Kingdom. It's awful. Don't watch it.
Okay.
Okay. So if you could be famous for something, what would it be?
Right now?
Yeah, like just you're famous for it.
Real estate.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to be like the guy you see. What's that guy, Jeff Cook? You see
Yeah.
his billboard all over the state second one? Like, that's what I want up there.
Jeff Cook Real Estate.
No, I want Ludd Real Estate up
Well,
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
Ludd Real Estate.
Yeah.
I like it. So do you want to have your own brokerage one day?
Possibility.
Maybe just a team?
Yeah.
I need to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Maybe you can get you. Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay.
Having a brokerage?
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Very
My
pricey.
money's not been on that level yet, so I wouldn't know. I'm glad you told me that.
You rocking the whatever. You are killing it, and you have another full-time job.
Listen,
Like, do you know how hard that is? Well, you know how hard that is.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. So just like you are killing it. If you ever wanted to be just real estate 24/7,
Then I'll be doing
you,
Sarah
like,
Jane numbers.
I would be working for you. I'd be like, please, Abram, let me have
Yeah.
one.
No.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, gosh, probably to read people's minds.
Nice.
Yeah, so I can hear what kind of BS they're saying. Shit.
I like the reasons people give for like the power they pick.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's like I want to know if you
So
can
is are these questions you ask all of your guests?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? What did Mr. Hasty and what did Thomas McElveen say?
So I didn't ask Thomas because it started with Vince, but then Calvin said that he would be pro in track.
Okay.
Because he played track all his
Okay.
life. He said he wanted to be famous for helping youth of Sumter.
Nice.
And his superpower would be basically being a witness and like getting people to heaven.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Dang, I said I want to read people's minds.
You're like morally,
Savage.
you're just like down here.
You know how that goes.
It's almost like not fair. It's like really you use the fun one for like something morally upstanding.
Yeah,
Like the rest of us.
I want to be able to read your mind. You know?
Okay, well if you don't care about would you rather answer a question about shoes or cars?
Shoes.
Shoes. Okay, if you have any pair of shoes in the whole world, what pair would it be?
Right now?
Yeah.
Ooh, right
They just
now.
like showed up. You could have like.
Right now, man, this changes on a daily to weekly basis sometimes. Right now, if I can have one pair of shoes, goodness, what shoe did I really want? There was a couple of pair of Yeezys I really wanted.
Even
Mave.
after the Taylor Swift debacle? I'm just
Mave,
kidding. That's
Yeah.
all I know.
Yeah,
Ladies.
maybe I wanted a pair of maybe some Yeezys, the Zebra 350s.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
look this up later.
Yeah, Zebra 350s. Yeah, probably some Yeezys.
All right.
If it wasn't Yeezys, it'd probably be Jordans. Yeah. So, but yeah.
I
those
would like
Zebras.
to know enough to say nice selection, but I'm going to go with the expert.
Well, you can look it up really quick. Google
So
it. Look up a picture of it.
Well,
Yeah.
first I got to do this. Thank you for picking
Modelo.
this.
Yeah. So lately, I'm not even gonna lie. I've been drinking this Especial Modelo. But anyway, the Negra is really good. The black.
I didn't know there were
Black
two
bottle.
different kinds.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I just
Did I
started.
get the wrong one?
No, because
Okay.
I love this one too.
So you picked Tavern. I feel like
I
Tavern's
love the
like,
Tavern. The Tavern
so
has the
good.
best wings.
Yes,
ever.
that's what everybody
Ever.
says. It's the best wings. I feel like people don't know.
So there was a guy that was in the back cooking, that
Uh-huh.
cooks the wings. I don't know if he works there anymore or not, but he was walking out of the kitchen one day, and I stopped him, and I told him God blessed him. He was blessed. God gave
With
him
the
a
wing
gift.
making ability.
Yes, and he
That's
looked at me like I was crazy, like whatever. And I'm like, dude, you're blessed, but he's like, whatever, dude.
So, Good wings, and then I feel like we don't share love with the tavern as much as we should, because
Well, you mainly eat at the Hamptons and the Sidebar, and
I always end up at the tavern. Though.
yeah, you end up at the tavern, but that's just for the post game. You know what I'm saying? For the the after party.
Well, it's also a really good place if I'm watching football, which I don't ever, but like Super Bowl or something like that. It's great.
This is what you do. Sarah, I'm gonna tell you, I don't even be down
Okay.
there, but I know what
Okay,
you do.
go ahead.
You pregame at the rafters. You pregame at the rafters. And there's people in the back nodding their heads right now because it's the truth. You pregame at the rafters, and you slide on over to the Sidebar. You slide over, you pass out a couple of business cards over there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you end up at the tavern outside drinking, you know what I'm saying? But that's just the after party, and then you go home. So you don't get any wings over there at the tavern. I've seen you at the tavern before.
Wrong.
Whenever I go downtown,
I go to Sidebar, I go to Hamptons, and then I go to the tavern.
I was close. You were
close.
But now
since downstairs.
SOB is open, I'm pretty sure you can be down there all the time.
Yeah, SOB, literally the one and only time I went, I got there at 4.
Uh-huh.
They unlocked the door so I could walk in.
Yep.
And then I left at 11. They unlocked the door so I could walk out.
Man, must be nice.
Went hard. So it was fun. I just
nice.
ran
Did you
into
have
a
a
whole
mask
bunch
on?
of different groups of people. Why are you coming for me today?
You was out there without a mask on.
You gotta get the beer to your mouth.
I mean,
I
would pick it up to go.
I wasn't even socially distanced. I was just up there.
I know
After 3, it's like 7% alcohol. It's over.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's a different level at SOB.
Well, thank you, Abram Ludd, for coming to chat with me about all things real estate. It's super fun.
Well, thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's a blessing because you think about it. You got Thomas McElveen, you got Calvin Aston, you got me. Like, hold up, you go from what up here to. I'm not on that level yet.
Yes,
so
you are.
I don't know.
100%.
I don't know, man. I feel special.
I wish you this man, full-time job, and sells the real estate, and on a super professional, and you're organized with it, and just it. Anyway, so enough about Abram.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for hyping me up once again.
I was like, absolutely.
Thank you.
And then big thanks to Tavern for the Modelo.
Oh, so you got this from the tavern?
Well. No,
I thought
they're
you
not
probably
open
got
yet.
this. You probably got this from Walmart.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I'm
But
gonna do that.
I wanted to shout out to Tavern because I like to shout out to Tavern.
Shout out to those wings.
Shout out to those Tavern wings.
Wings, man.
Anyway, well, this has been fun and interesting, and I hope you guys have a fantastic week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, we're powered by F45. Absolutely. Thank you, F45, for sponsoring us here, and have a great time. See you later next week. Thank you so much for reminding me. I was like, ugh. My back cracked when I did that.